Definitely good to limit your risk. Okay, so we got market open here. Trading down. I actually do like the way that this London high looks, right? Right, we got this London high stacked with low resistance liquidity, right? And we're trading down right off the open. We could see this kind of be manipulation, right? And we trade into this London high and also this 10 a.m. Buy side liquidity from last week, right? So this actually isn't too bad of a setup I'm already seeing here now. I do like the way the 4-hour candle looks as well. Right here. Taking out the low of that candle and then maybe 9:45 to 10 running for this high or 10 a.m. running for that high. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just kind of being patient here to see if we get some type of setup. This bearish move was kind of expected, obviously, after the news over the weekend. Expected price to kind of open up and maybe be bearish or super volatile in both directions, but just kind of seeing price go straight down right now, which isn't bad. It's okay. The thing is, we're already trading below the low of previous Friday's candle, Friday and Thursday for that matter. So, not entirely sure if we'll see. I mean, we won't see this daily high get ran, I'm pretty sure, right? I think it's like a 10 to 20% chance that this daily high gets ran, right? If there is any bullish price action, I think it would only be to this high. But like I said, we're opening up and we're just trading straight down. Yo, Frank, what up, man? How was your little break from trading? Feel refreshed? Yeah, definitely, man. I think going into this week, it's more important than ever to have some clarity and make sure your mind is refreshed because I think we're in for a doozy this week. We got a lot of data releases and on top of uncertainty with what's going to happen. Yeah, so we got that 4-hour candle just trading straight down. ES is a little bit weaker, it looks like. Not quite trading as low, right? On ES. All right, so we're sweeping out that pre-market liquidity right there. Yeah, we could see a nice little long setup, honestly, but I don't know. We'll see. I'd want to see price maybe trade a little lower and form some type of like I don't know, like a fair value gap or order block. I don't know. My only confirmation for going higher right now would be trading above this 930 open, to be honest. We did sweep this sell side liquidity, but we're plummeting right now. And we got this Asia low down here as well, so kind of tough. Let me look at regular trading hours real quick. So regular trading hours, we basically opened up right at the gap, right? So we didn't really gap according to regular trading hours. So we're retesting midnight open and that Asia range, and we instantly skyrocketed off there. So this is interesting right here. Look at this 15-minute candle right here. Yeah, so this could be the takeoff right here, right? We got this inverse. But yeah, we'll see. We do have this low resistance liquidity, so got a little volume imbalance right here paired with a inverse fair value gap. This is on the 1 minute. Also creating a fair value gap right here. So we could definitely see price start spooling up towards these highs, maybe. Still got 2 minutes on this 5-minute candle. What does an entry look like? Entry looks like this. See if we can get a trade into this volume imbalance. I might look to take this, honestly. I like how price kind of recovered. 3 minutes got a inverse fair value gap in about 5 seconds. Yeah, we got PMI in at 9:45, but yeah, maybe I should wait for that because I don't expect it to be too volatile, but it might widen the spread, right? I'm expecting 9:45 to kind of bring that distribution leg, right? If the 15-minute looks like this, the next 15-minute candle trading higher into this. A lot of volatility right now. 3-minute retested that inverse fair value gap. Yeah, I think at this point I'm just going to be patient until 9:45. But 9:45 might just like I said, just bring that distribution, right? So let's see. I remember last month we had PMI and it wasn't anything crazy at all. But I know it's a completely different data release. So I'm expecting it to maybe trade back down into this volume imbalance. Maybe this inverse fair value gap, this fair value gap here. A lot of confluence to go higher. So we'll see what it brings. Got a 3-minute fair value gap right here, as well as holding the inverse. So that's a good sign to trade higher. I really like how we tapped into the Asia range and traded a little bit below midnight open, right? I think that's a pretty good sign. If we didn't have news at 9:45, I would definitely already be in this trade for sure. I would have been in on this trade at this fair value gap, right? This 3-minute fair value gap. But yeah, just being a little cautious here. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Okay, there's that 9:45. No, this isn't even news release. Wow. Okay. Unless the data released early. Yeah, data released early. No, it didn't. That was kind of crazy. Okay, let's see what this does. Wow, it's so volatile right now. Wow. So we traded into that volume imbalance right there. I think this wick that we saw was a pretty big order, right? That was a little manipulation down into this volume imbalance and fair value gap. Yeah. I still like this to go higher.
Order submitted.
Okay. So got an entry here. Stops will be below the manipulation. Now, obviously, I want to see this 3-minute hold. Let's see if we can trade higher into this London high and maybe this 3 standard deviation. This looks pretty good here. This looks pretty good. Obviously, this is the low-hanging fruit here, this London high. Let's keep an eye on ES too to make sure we don't form SMT. I want to see this high get ran around the same time, right? Yeah, I didn't even actually notice this SMT either. I wasn't even paying attention to ES. I wasn't even paying attention. This was actually SMT as well. That was actually a beautiful setup. I would say this was a A- setup. A- only because we had the data release right in the middle of the setup. Frankson long as well. Nice, bro. Perfect, man. Yeah. The only reason it wasn't A+ is just because of that PMI release right in the middle to kind of mess up the entry, right? But other than that, A+. SMT, little 3-minute inversion here right off the open. We had accumulation, right? Manipulation, and then now I just want to see distribution into this London high. Out for 151. Nice, bro. That's on the PA accounts. Awesome, bro. Good work. Good work. Not taking a chance on that. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. We got ES is definitely stronger here. ES is a lot stronger. So let's see. Yeah, with this SMT, I think it's gonna blast through these highs. Honestly, I think we're gonna blast through these highs. Yeah, our entry isn't like the best here. Okay, you got 840 entry sling. Very good entry. Very, very good entry. Very nice. So we got a change in the state here as well, right? We got inverse with change in the state. SMT looks really good to take out this high. ES hasn't taken out the high yet. This could just be a little pullback, right? Trying to see if I enter one more contract, stops would be below this low. We got the 10 a.m. candle here shortly. I'm going to enter one more
Order
contract here.
filled.
One more contract. Trail my stop up just below this low. Now at this point, I just want to see price. I just want to see price spooling towards this London high, right? I don't want to see price come back at this point. If we come back and start trading into this fair value gap, then we possibly invert it and just go lower, right? So scaling in, increasing my risk to reward just a little bit. And then once this high breaks, we'll probably take this London high just because they're so close, right? All this is so close together. But we'll see. See if that happens.
Hey, I want to
Yo,
say real quick.
hey,
Usually, the pre-market setup that I usually see. My bad, bro.
hey, scared me a little bit. You
Well,
come up in here. What up, man? How's it going?
what's up? The pre-market setup. I want to tell you guys that where we either sweep the highs and the lows. Where I say, from 7 a.m. to 9:30, you draw the high and the low.
Mm-hmm.
That setup usually a minimum. That setup usually show up twice a week minimum. Just to let everybody know that. So twice a week, that setup is like kind of guaranteed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So 7 a.m. You're saying 7 a.m. to 9:30. The pre-market
7
highs
a.m.
and
to 9.
lows.
Yep, twice a week. That setup is always set up, and it played out today. We swept the low at 7 a.m. and
Yeah.
we already took out the high, and then we're just trading high.
Yeah. I like that, man. I like that. I like that for sure. Especially because ES had the SMT, and there's ES taking that high. Yep. ES taking the high right there. I don't think I don't think SMT is gonna form here. So I am gonna hold this just because we formed SMT on the bottom side, right? I'm expecting NQ to follow suit and blast through. Yeah, and then you could see ES had all this low resistance liquidity that got taken during London. Right here. I'm trying to see the next target. Bye, love you, man. See ya. Have a good day. Yeah, there's ES. Now we could trade into this fair value gap, but we might be distributing here. Looks pretty good. Taking that first target here. Then we have the second one, third one, but they're all super close, right? Very close. You cut 50%. Okay, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Now, I wouldn't want to see this invert. If this inverts, I would cut my trade, right? Everyone's out. I think Sling might still be in it with me here. Jonah's holding. The only thing we have 10 a.m. coming up here in 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Yeah, man. And you just came off a little break, Frank. It's good to just come in here Monday, get a base hit before 10 a.m., bro. You know, after all that news that just happened, we have a data release today coming off a break. Like, it's good just to take that base hit and be happy with that, man. Definitely. Jonah, what inverse you talking about? Maybe on ES? You mean here? Like this one right here before the pre-market? Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I try not to I don't pay too much attention to PD arrays like before the open. Um like this I wouldn't consider, right? It's a small little fair value gap. This is an accumulation, right? This is accumulation area. All I'm paying attention is to basically like what Rich was saying, the highs and the lows, right? So you got pre-market session, you got the high and the low, and then London high and low, Asia high and low, and then daily highs and lows, right? Um, but typically I'm not looking at PD arrays too much right before the open because they don't have as much trust value, right? Can't trust them as much. I'm not paying attention to that news too much, Alex. Um, I try to pay attention just to red folders. Right? But that's just me personally. Yeah, Jonah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's good to like look at that and be able to realize that, but you need to know the context of this fair value gap. We are in accumulation, right? So, and consolidation, accumulation, whatever you want to call it, PD arrays are less likely to play out in those consolidation areas. And that's how people get chopped up using ICT concepts as well, right? So there's the high getting ran. I'm just going to go close my trade here, actually.
Order filled.
Yeah, I'm just going to take that high right there. And just a nice little simple one today. Taking profit at that high. I think that was a nice low hanging fruit for the day. Like I said though, if you look at the daily time frame, I don't think this daily high is going to get ran, right? So this is where, you know, with everything, think about it in like a context perspective, right? There's war talks, right? We just had, airstrikes hit Iran. But so when you think about it like that and everybody's coming to the market and they're short, they just want to short the market, short the market, short the market. What's that creating? It's creating liquidity, right? If everybody's short, what can smart money, bigger money, what can they target, right? Retail shorts. So I think that's why we're seeing a little move up like this, right? The initial reaction where retail traders get in short, and then we target this level of liquidity and instantly run higher, right? This is like manipulation at its finest. All this is just smart money right here. This leg higher. And I guarantee you this leg below was a lot of retailers shorting right off the open and then just getting annihilated, right? So, but like I said, I don't think this daily high will get ran at all. Right? I think this is definitely a manipulation. At least today, right? So if this candle closes bullish for the day, we could see like tomorrow's candle take this high and form the high of the week, right? If we're thinking about like how the weekly candle would play out, right? If we want to see lower prices on the weekly candle, Monday, Tuesday would create a top wick, right? So maybe we wick up here and then completely reverse and start taking out some of these lows, right? The true narrative, if it's bearish, it's not just going to slam, right? If everybody knows that we're going to have bearish price action for the week, it's not just going to slam there instantly. The times you see price slam to target instantly is when nobody expects it, right? Like when we had this huge bullish candle, right? Right off of Monday, nobody expected that, right? And it gave almost no opportunity to get in, right? So we had Sunday right here, this huge bullish candle that formed, this bullish weekly candle. It gave nobody an opportunity to get in, right? Look at all this. This isn't even before 9:30 where this forms. You know what I'm saying? So when price is really running, right, it's almost not going to give an opportunity to get in. And we talk about that all the time with distribution legs, right? How it doesn't always give you an opportunity. Like here on the 1 minute, these fair value gaps and volume imbalances may have never got filled if it wasn't for the 9:45 news event, right? We could have seen these left as breakaway gaps, right? In a distribution leg. But, we did see price trade back into it only because of the news event, in my personal opinion. But that's just how I view the market. You know what I mean? Everybody views the market differently. That's the thing. I just try to create a story and just react off what that story is telling me, right?